The biggest liquidation event of this bull run just took place, cleaning out all the leverage and clearing the runway for the next leg up. Bitcoin, crypto, morning tea, hey. Good morning, everybody. My name's Pianomattyb. That is Scaramucci's. This is your morning TA. A brief glimpse into the crypto markets, where the sun's shining, where the wind's blowing. Oh, the humble opinion of this piano Zamboni bringing the data. The FOMO index has remained at 78, frozen in a state of extreme greed. Bitcoin dominance 55.5%. 24-hour volumes 343 billion. The overall market cap 3.48 trillion. Give or take 100 million. Well, like clockwork, GigaChad Michael Saylor makes another huge buy in the market. Has a price enema, flushing out the leverage longs. But we talked about this, so it should have come as no surprise to anyone in this boutique community when Bitcoin price action, well, she had a little dump. Late day pump yesterday will signal the market quant bots to unleash their sell algos, and I wouldn't be surprised to see price action go back down to retest this triangle support 94.7, which is also the Siggity 1.8% fib levels to keep your papers on to the downside. These are breakout point at 94.7-ish. And now F. I say if we do break underneath the 20 moving average, some fibs to keep your papers on would be first the 50% fib down at 94.2. Lord love a duck. She didn't do just that. After testing our triangle of neutralities, resistance, and failing, price action was sent packing and dipped under the 20 moving average, then tested this triangle support, taking a run at her and crashing through it, finding a bottom and a bounce at 94.2, and has recovered back up to a time of production 97.8, clocking in a 7% loss, which we file under crash for ants. As volatile as she seemed, it was really just another mood swing in the market. What I'm hoping to see today is to get back up and into our triangle of neutrality at 98.7, but we need to get past the noise, and in order to do that, we need to rip through this triangle, break through its resistance at 100K, but that's still not enough. In order to change the quant bot sell algos, we need to close a candle at or above 101.3, which is also the 23.6% fib. Until we do that, we will be range bound and down. Now over on the ding dong, you can see we almost carved out a Tri Delta Gamma bearish engulfing candle, a candle which engulfs the past 3 candles, but we got that much needed bounce in candle close above the 20 moving average, maintaining our trend of higher lows, because as great as higher highs are, they do not define a trend. In fact, they're more anomalaic and freak than they are consistent. So seeing consistent higher lows is a much better way to identify the overall trend.
That which once were will get candlestick.
Ah, yes, the angelic voices of the children's choir of enchanted wicks, letting us know that a juicy wick has been sacrificed to the gods of wickedness, down at 94.2. But we are in a bull market, and those pesky kids don't have as much pull to the downside as they do in a bear market. And I don't want to jinx anything and have to buy somebody a Coke, but we've yet to fulfill these kids' last sacrificial wick, which is way down at 88.8, which is hard to believe, but that massive scam wick happened only 5 days ago. Life went on. The market closed another all-time high candle, and we basically forgot all about it. My heartbreakingly bullish outlook for today would be to turn this candle into an Uno reverse bullish engulfing candle and retest this channel of ascension's resistance way up at 102.2-ish. Would you look at that, my friends? The sun's up. It's another beautiful day here on planet Earth today. None of us are guaranteed. We're not guaranteed these days yet. We're lucky enough to have anyway, so get out there, knock 'em dead. And remember, we're playing the same game as our psychopathic elected leads. And that's right, it's the long game. So zoom out and have a fantastic day. And we'll be going live right away, so grab yourself a coffee, join me for a quick one, and by all means, sing it with me now. I'll run the banks of boom to spank, Bitcoin, crypto, morning tea, hey, whoa. Cha-cha-cha-ching. It almost feels like we're getting, I don't know, a little bit spoiled with these crazy crashes. I mean, even myself, when we were going through it yesterday, really call it that, it felt like the sky was falling. But it was only a 7% dump. That's nothing. 7% dump. We all know that's nothing. Scotty Mo, 101 watching, only 48 likes. That means 50% of the people went, no value in this video. I get it. I get it. 7% crash. We're spoiled. We're kind of like the Gen Zers, where it's like, this is too hard. I can't handle it. The 7% dump. I can't. I'm out. Sell it. I'm out of here. What would happen when we, get the historic 30% pullback? 6 of them, to be precise, in the last bull market. 6 of them. Now, is there a certain aspect of it takes a lot more to move up and down? Yeah, I'll buy that. I'll buy that. If you think about it, so let's say we're at 40K. Now, if we were to go down, let me do some quick math here, $2,800, that would be a 7% loss. Now, would we be losing our minds from 40K to 37.6? Not really. You know, I don't know. It's been so long. See, that's a funny thing about the market. You know, everything normalizes so fast. You know, even when we get to 100K, we're like, yes, 100K. Now what? We're immediately looking on to the next big thing. We just normalize in an instant. So now 30% of a drawdown, we've yet to normalize. And it's okay right now because we're all OGs here in the sense that we've been through 30% drawdowns. So when and if it does happen, I'd be surprised if it doesn't happen. I really would. We'll freak out. Don't get me wrong. We'll have a good old fashioned freak out, but we'll know that these things happen. Now, it may actually. It may only happen once retail finally comes in, whenever that is, because maybe it's their irrationality and their fear and their greed that begets these 30% dumps. You know, just the panic of things going down. I see it like so with some of the people that I've talked to that are recently in the market. They're new to the market. So every day, it's funny, every day seems to affect them. And to a certain degree, every day affects me, you know, when the market. And I assume you as well, even though I'm long-term hodler, you know, you feel the swings, no matter how cold and heartless and soulless we may have become, you still feel the swings. But when you're new to the market and you've just put in, you know, what would be, I don't know, a trip to Mexico, because you gotta think about where these people are valuing stuff. You know, new to the market, they're actually sacrificing now, today, the present, for the future. So as they await for the future with bated breath, they are now comparing the money they put in from their trip to Mexico into the future. Well, I would have had this. It's down. Sell it. And then they sell at a loss. But they will learn, like we've all learned. Patience is the massive key here in all these crazy swings. And think about this. I remember it was maybe a few Sundays ago. Like, we're not talking 6 months ago, 4 months ago, 2 months ago. We're talking about maybe 3 weeks ago where we ripped through the 80s. Those are big moves. Ripping through the 80s, it's crazy. And then when we got to the 90s, it was like, what's next? What's next? What's next? I can't handle this. We've been at 91 for like 48 hours. What the hell's going on here? Then we pumped to 100K. And then everyone, hey, blah, blah, is this amazing 100K? And then what's next? When's 110K? And a matter of fact, while I'm asking where's 110K, when's 150K? Really, that's the most important thing. And you know what? If you're going to be answering me what's 150K, when's 200K? That's the question. So let's take a look at this crash for ants here. Whoa, all the way. Oh my God. Look at this, you know, this arbitrary little triangle of neutrality. It was, it's respecting it. We have fallen out of it, but you can see we tested it a couple times, broke through it, threw down the wick there, 94.2. I was quite surprised that I had 94.2 on the bingo card, and Lord love a duck, she hit for 94.2. And now we're trying to get back up. So this is where we have to keep our peepers on here. We want to break through this. We don't want to retest and get denied. If we get denied here at the triangle of neutrality's support now acting as resistance, we will probably come back down and test this 95.8. This is our old channel of eternal monotony's resistance now acting as support. Now, what some might say is not the greatest thing here is that we do have somewhat, it's slight, it's ever so slight. I almost don't even want to notice it, but I am. It's a slightly lower low on the 4-hour chart. Now she's a noisy little so-and-so, Peter Schiff. We got that. It's a noisy little so-and-so. But it is still a lower low. But pianomattyb, why it's a 4-hour chart? Why don't you zoom out, maybe get a better scope on the deal? Okay, here we go. The ding dong, the daily chart. You can see we are in a ascending channel now. These ascending channels, they tend to break bearish. They do. That's just what they, I don't make it up. I don't make these probabilities up. I just regurgitate it ad nauseum for years. And we are respecting it. We throw some desperado wicks down. It's a pretty big wick. It's funny because when I was reading this chart this morning, I was like, when did that happen? Was that? And then like, that's Thursday. Thursday, this massive. Let's take a look at this daily swing here from wick to wick. 15,000. That's crazy. 15,000. Now it's up and down. It's not just in one direction. So it's up a bit. Let's get 4,000 down, 11,000, et cetera, et cetera. But that is what you have, what some legacy analysts would call hella volatile. But it's over, and that was Thursday, and we forgot about it. I blocked it out of my mind. I didn't even think that anything happened, really. And when you look at it, when you look at the candles, the bodies, the wicks, who cares about the wicks? We've just been stagnant, really. We had a little bit of a pump here, put in a new all-time high candle close at 101.2, so that's where she stands. But outside of that, we've just been banging around here at 97 to 99. Now, the problem with this 100K mark, beyond it being psychological, is that it has a lot of historic promises with sells, right? So all these people that have been in for a long time may be underwater. So imagine if you got in at the top, you FOMO'd in at the top last bull market at 69K or whatever it was, and then you sat there all the way down to 16K listening to everyone. How's that Bitcoin price doing? Oh, yeah, you must be making a lot of money. Snicker, snicker, snicker. That's from friends and family and maybe wife or girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever. You had to live through that. Now it came up to 69K. Usually that 69K would be the promise everyone made to themselves. Duke, have you smashed that likes yet? Let's see. Yeah, it's a little better. Almost 100K. Almost 100K. One day, a Wick's wife, one day Misco, Carl Elder, right? One day Squeaky McGee. God, what was I talking about? I forgot. You see, I took my eye off the flow. Carl Elder with a super chat. Hit the likes, people. Hit it all day long. Hit the likes while you listen to this song. Or that Duke made up this chord. That's right. Duke was practicing yesterday, and he ended the song with this. I was like, wow, that's such a full chord. What are you doing? And he's doing three fingers on his left hand. I never taught him that. I mean, it's not like he watches piano tutorials or anything. He developed his left hand to play to play chords. Now it's not always great because it gets muddy. See, that's what we call in the music biz muddy. You hear? So usually, if I were to play that chord, I'd just play the octaves. It's not as muddy. But when you're ending and you don't need to do anything, you can actually. And it's full. Anyway, the moral of the story is that he learned that on his own, the little Dickens. Anyway, we are respecting this channel of ascension. And the Uno Reverso card, the best possible, reminds me of Day in the Life ending. Yeah, what is it? What is that? It's more of an overchord. The major seventh actually is the question mark on it, but it's the innocent question, right? So this question it asks is like, is that really how much Bitcoin's worth? Is that really? But then when it's the dominant 7th, we went over this, it's more of a snarky. Is that really what Bitcoin's worth? Really? So that's the difference between dominant 7th is really major 7th? Really? Anyway, what are we talking about here? Carl Elder says, smash the likes, and Duke is the man. Yes, good old Duck. He woke up late today. I wonder if he's going to come down anyway. The Uno Reverso card. If we can do this, because you got to look at the market direction and the trends, right? As you can see here, the most important thing about anything is that we're making higher lows. And like I said in the video, higher highs are great, but they're almost like Hail Mary long bombs. Is that what they're called? Is that what the kids call these the football long bombs, Hail Marys? Where it's like crazy. It's, oh my God, he's going for it. He's going for it. And then out of nowhere, the guy jumps in and he grabs it. Those are great and exciting, but they're so anomalaic and freakish. They don't really, it's not really how the game went, so to speak, you know, because there's one Hail Mary long bomb. That's not indicative of the gameplay. So as fun as they are to see and as much serotonin and dopamine it floods the system with, you got to take a look at the lower highs or higher lows. Yeah. And in this case, it's higher lows to really figure out our trend. And we are, I mean, we're on the lower end of it. We're testing, you know, I'd rather be putting, testing resistance rather than support, because as an ascending channel of ascension, you know, oh, look at that Gary Gensler. I got to take him out of this. Why do I have Gary Gensler on my videos? Actually, watch this. Goodbye, Gary Gensler. Yeah, I would rather be testing resistance than support, because these channels of ascension, they tend to break bearish, and that's okay. That's okay, because if we go out onto the Wookiee, the weekly, you can see that we are, what is this, 97.2. We closed 97.2 lasers. We won't miss it, Gary. You know, no one's going to miss Gary. And now, I know, pianomattyb is triggered about Gary Gensler. I am, because I know he doesn't work for, he works for a higher concentric circle, so he doesn't really care. His life isn't going to be affected. So when I think about where his life should go, he should live in like Cersei's shame walk for the rest of his life. Wherever he goes, people should be throwing, you know, cow dung at him and saying, shame, shame, shame. But in his concentric circles, he probably won't ever hear that. And in fact, he'll probably be propped up by his other people who exist on that concentric circle as job well done. I know it was hard, Gary, and you weren't winning any friends. And Gary retorts back, "Hey, this isn't a popularity contest. I do what I'm told by my concentric circle." Anyway, enough about Gary Gensler. You see how he triggers me? It's just ridiculous. I can never get over it. Let's go back to this 4-hour chart to see where we want to go today. Make this a little bigger for y'all there. I know Terry Crow's peepers weren't in focus this morning. It's like, is this Matty B out of focus? Is he out of focus? And then I started looking at the video. I was actually doing like, am I out of focus? I know I use this. Hey, buddy, well, you look scared. You all right? Yeah, that's good. Okay, all right. Well, I got a super chat there from Carl Elder. So we're fresh out of the YouTube financial prism, the gulag. So let's. What are we gonna do? I hope you thought of a song while you were up there, and I was sitting here blabbing away. Did you? No?
Well, I heard some words.
You heard what?
I heard some words.
Some words. No, I was asking you if you had a song in mind you were going to play. No comment?
I want the loneliest Lamborghini in the world. I know
Hold on.
my life will never be the same.
We did that yesterday. Let's do Feels Like the Bottom.
I mean this the most grooviest way. Tell me that's over, tell me that's done, tell me everything I thought was wrong. Now everything I had now is gone. It feels like the bottom. It feels like something's about to change. It feels like the bottom, and I mean this the most grooviest way. It feels like the bottom. It feels like something's about to change. It feels like the bottom. I mean this the most grooviest way.
I was just talking about your chord there, the inverted major seventh with the 3-fingered bass. Nice job. Great singing. Oh my God.
Make sure you like and subscribe.